Well, guys, I got another update for you concerning my wife, Sarah, and her hospital stay and all that stuff. And some of it is good and some of it is not so good. So, with that, let's get into this. The Vochek experience starts right now. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video of the Vochek experience, where idiots are still always us. Always me. Even in these kind of times, I'm still an idiot, and I think I'm always going to be an idiot to the day I die. So, yeah, you can expect me to be an idiot all the time. Anyway, like I said, welcome back, and also like I said in the intro, I got another update for you guys concerning my wife Sarah. Like I said, some good news and some not so good news. And my dog, who won't stop barking. Please excuse my dog, Esri. For whatever reason, she just keeps barking over absolutely nothing. All day. Just nothing. Just starts barking. So, you may hear her again throughout this video. Just so you know. But anyways, back to Sarah and her hospital stay and the updates. If you've been keeping up with these updates from the beginning, you know that several weeks ago, before she was even transported to Pittsburgh Hospital and everything, when she was still in the Altoona Hospital's ICU, they did a genetic scan on her so they could check out her DNA and stuff to see if there's anything in her DNA that they're seeing that could be causing what's going on. Well, after almost a month, we have finally got the results of that genetic scan, and those results came up negative, which means they didn't find anything on the test that they performed there. And also, they have also completed their analysis of the muscle biopsy that they got from her just a couple of weeks ago. That has also come up negative. So we're still trying to find a diagnosis and what is going on. They were thinking that it was maybe a mitochondrial disease, some kind of disease of the muscles, but the biopsy didn't show anything like that, so it's kind of like back to square one. And also, not long ago, actually earlier in the week, they did a heart catheter on her, and here's where some bad news comes in. When they did the heart catheter on her, they discovered that her heart is actually a lot weaker than they originally thought. So that means that she has gone back into the ICU. Now, they had taken her out of the ICU last week, really late last week, and they put her in the cardiac unit in the Presby Hospital in Pittsburgh. Anyway, getting, my places mixed up because this has all been one big thing and one thing after another. So just bear with me if I get some names and places mixed up as I'm telling you guys this. But anyways, she got out of the ICU, and then she was in the cardiac unit for a little bit, and then a few days later, she had the heart catheterization, and they found out that her heart was weaker than what they initially thought. So she is back in the ICU again, but this time not the ICU that she was in before. This is a cardiac ICU where they're going to monitor and look after her heart a little more closely than what they have been, with the other ICU and then when she wasn't in the ICU. So that means they are giving her some stronger meds and some other different kind of medications to help her heart function. In regards with that, they have actually been able to drain a good bit of fluid off of her heart and her legs and her hands. She looks a lot better now that her hands and her feet aren't so swollen with fluid and everything. So her feet and her legs and her hands are actually starting to look pretty normal now. So that's a good thing. But they have to keep up with these different medications to maintain all that. And they have also reiterated that a couple of her valves are indeed not working in the best condition, and they are not closing like they should. And what's happening is as her heart is beating, instead of the valves closing when they need to, some of them are remaining open a little bit, and some of the blood that's supposed to be getting pumped down through her body is actually getting pumped back up into her body, which is not very good at all. The doctors are saying that her heart is still at between 40 and 45% functioning, which a normal heart function would be between 55 and 65. So I know that doesn't seem, too far down from those numbers, but it's still down significant to where, we need to, be concerned and monitor this. And because that they have not found any evidence of mitochondrial disease, and they've ruled out several of the other diseases that we've talked about before in previous updates, they're thinking that maybe a lot of her issues are stemming from what's going on in her heart. So they want to try to get her heart pretty much working as better and as much as possible. That way they can see a little bit better how things are going and how to proceed. We still don't know for sure if she's going to need any kind of heart surgery or not. The last time I spoke to the heart doctor, they said they're going to try to see if they can correct the issue with just medication. And if that fails, then they may consider doing some surgical option. But we're not exactly there yet. But of course, once we get there, of course, I'll let you know about all that and everything, like I normally do on these update videos. Now, concerning her vocal cords, she's still having a hard time talking. She is still speaking with a whisper and everything. And she is also in some pain while she is in there. So they're giving her some pain meds and stuff to help with that. And some medication to help with congestion, because she's also having a hard time getting some fluids up when she coughs and stuff, which I think is a result of being on the vent for as long as she was. So she still has a long road to go ahead of her for her vocal cords and all that stuff to heal. She's still pretty weak as well. She's still not able to get on her phone and text anybody or anything. She's still pretty weak about that. And some of those pain medications that she is taking while she's in there are causing her to be pretty drowsy and sleepy. And she has her good days and she has her bad days where she's, sometimes she's awake, sometimes she's not, sometimes, it's like a little bit of both. So she has got a very long road ahead of her to get over what she has and what's going on and all that stuff. A few days ago, I was contacted by the infectious disease people. They were trying to figure out why she still has a lingering fever when they have not found any infections or anything like that yet. So they just wanted to ask me some questions, like if she was bitten by anything or if she was around any farm animals, that kind of thing. And then I also got a call from a geneticist. The way that they're talking and the way we're thinking is that because the previous genetic test came up negative, they want to do some more invasive genetic scans and testing of her DNA. So of course I authorized them to do that. And once they start taking samples and blood samples and all that stuff that they need for that, it's still going to take a couple weeks for those tests to come back as well, because they are more invasive and they have to do more stuff to it to get the results that they're looking for. Now, I know a lot of people out there, especially friends and family, I know you're all upset, and I know, you're all are like, okay, she's been in there, almost a month and a half, and still no concrete diagnosis yet. But I will say that they are working to try to figure this out. Whatever is going on is a big, big mystery to them. And they are also, surprised at what's going on is affecting her, especially for how young she is, because she is only 31. And so, they're not really, expecting something like this to happen to a 31-year-old. But they are trying to figure out what's going on and the best course of action to try to get her better and to try to get this behind us. But unfortunately, it's going to take some time before they can determine what's going on and how we can go forward on getting her better, what kind of meds she's going to need as we go along, and what kind of therapy she's going to need, if any. I know right now she's going to need some physical therapy to get her up and about and moving, but I'm not so sure how much they're going to do with her being back in the ICU. I know that they had started to do a little bit of physical therapy before she went back to the ICU, but I'm just not sure how much they're going to work, with her on that, as, now that she's back in the ICU. And speaking of ICU, I'm not sure if I mentioned this earlier, but this is a cardiac ICU. It's a different ICU than what she was in before. This one is more geared towards, focusing more on her heart. So we'll see how that goes. But other than that, it's been pretty much the same. She's just been, laying there in bed, having her moments of being awake and alert and talking, with a whisper and everything, to sometimes being tired, not really wanting to talk and just sleeping. But all in all, even though we had that setback of her going back into the ICU, we're still moving forward, with trying to find out what's going on. But it just, we were all thinking that it was going to be this mitochondrial disease, but as it turns out, it's starting to look like that's not the case. But they're still looking. They're still trying to figure it out. It's just... Sarah just has to be difficult, and she has to be complicated. So, and she has to be a mystery. And that's what's going on right now, is a complete mystery. So, but I appreciate everybody's thoughts and prayers and everything. That's one thing that she really needs. That's one thing that I really need in this case and everything. I mean, like I said, I know it looks like that, I got everything all together and everything, especially as I'm giving you guys the updates and these videos and stuff. But, inside, I'm just really not. I'm just all chaotic inside, not sure how to feel, how to react. I'm stressed out, because I'm still working full time. I'm getting, making sure I'm trying to work as many overtime hours as I can to, make sure I'm getting the bills paid and everything. along with all this and everything, especially when I get a call from one of the doctors at the hospital who is questioning me if I really know what's going on and if I'm really, all that into knowing what's going on with Sarah. Because literally they called me and asked me, do you know what's going on with your wife? And even though I said, yes, I know what's going on, she comes back and says, but do you really know what's going on with your wife? Simply because, at least I think, and I even called her out on this, because when she said that, I was like, are you implying that I don't care about my wife just because I am not there with her every day? And she was like, no, that's not what we're saying at all, but it was heavily implied. And everybody that I've talked to about that has said the same thing, that they were implying that I didn't care about Sarah because I am not there 24/7. And I had to explain to her that as much as I would love to be there 24/7, to be at my wife's side, but unfortunately I have to work still. And I work full time. And I need to make sure that we keep a roof over our heads, lights, electricity in the house, and everything to make sure that when she does get out of the hospital, she has a safe place to come home to. And apparently this person I talked to did not understand that. Apparently she did not understand that I'm living 2 hours away from where she's at the hospital. And I just cannot get there as much as I'd like to, simply because I work full time and I live 2 hours away. So I can only get there when I can, which is mostly every time I get a day off. I'm usually going up there. So I don't know what this lady expected of me. I really don't know. But thankfully, that was the only time and the only person who ever questioned, this whole thing about me and Sarah and me, only going up there when I can. So, but at the same time, I did not appreciate the comment that she made and how she made it sound. Whether or not she meant it that way or not, like she claims, it shouldn't have come out that way. It just makes me wonder how she would, react or feel if one of her loved ones was in the hospital and she couldn't get there all the time because she had to work full time or whatever was going on, or if she was far away. So I just wish that, some people would take that into account instead of just assuming, the worst or anything. And if you hear weird noises in the background, it's also the cats. One of the cats is playing with something on the floor and making some noise. And so far so good. Esri has not barked since earlier, so let's hope that stays that way. Yeah, she's looking at me weird. But anyway, with all of that being said, that's pretty much the most current update I have for you as of right now, as of this video. And of course, as things progress and as I get more information, I will be making more update videos for you guys so that you know what's going on. And with that, I hope you enjoyed hearing this update and everything. And also, if you like these updates and you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and hit that notification bell. That way, whenever I do post an update video like this, you get notified that it's there so you can watch it and keep up with what's going on. And of course, if you want to help out this stupid little channel of mine or anything, hit that join button and become a member of the Idiot Squad, because we would love to have you. And of course, you can follow me on all the major social medias, and of course, check out the merch store. You never know, you might find something on there you might like. And of course, check out my podcast, Idiots Are Us, The Story of Me. It's now available on Apple Podcasts and every other podcasting platform you can think of. All the links to all this stuff is all down below. Just to make it easy for you and all that good stuff. So, but anyway, with that, I hope you're all having a good day, good night, good week, good weekend, whatever the case is when you're watching this video, because I never know exactly when you are watching this video. You could be watching it within 5 minutes of me posting it. You could be watching this 5 years from now. I really don't know. It could be summer, winter, whatever that you're watching. But anyway, like I said, as things happen, I will be still keeping you guys updated on what's going on with Sarah and everything. And so with that, I'm going to end this video here, and because I got to get ready and go to work here pretty soon. So, but with that, I will see you all in the next video. So, bye for now.